Hello and welcome to Awesome Collection, Classic Toys. We're going to look at the Sears Wish Book, the Christmas book, in the 1966. They got a great selection of toys in here, spy toys, and of course G.I. Joe, racing sets, boys' toys, girls' toys, and then all kinds of things. We're going to basically get to the boys' toys and some of the things that are really cool. Let's take a look here. I have a whole large collection of catalogs from the 60s into the 70s. Sears, J.C. Penney, Alden's, and maybe a couple of other companies, Montgomery Ward. They're very collectible depending on how you can get them. And usually they're not in super great shape, but this one's not too bad. And they can run $40 to $100 or more, especially on something of this time period, which is very, very popular. We're going to try to take a look at this here, look through this part, and then we'll get to the toys. You can see everything that's advertised in here. All kinds of things. When this came out, this was a big thing, probably into the 80s still, getting the catalog in the fall and seeing what you wanted. And you could pick out a few things and say, "Ooh, how about this or that for Christmas time?" These get really fun when you really get down to them. If you're a connoisseur of pop culture like I am, just look at the clothing and stuff. And in the 70s, they even had a little section they were adding because houseplants were getting popular then. That they had shelves and things for plants too. Crazy. And all the wild styles and so forth. Very much a snapshot of what life was like when you look at consumer products, what people were buying, what folks looked like. Let's see if we can get closer to the toys. And then the Christmas stuff. I love these, the stockings that were filled with stuff. It was kind of junky stuff and the candy wasn't good, but it was fun. The Eternal Fruit Cake. Still good to eat, I'm sure. 55 years later. I am a big vintage Christmas collection, so I like looking and seeing what was on sale back then in this catalog. I've done a little bit of Christmas videos, and maybe this year later I'll do more featuring the vintage. You can get bikes, guns, BB guns, so forth. Let's get to the crafts. Let's get to the toys. There's Dr. Seuss. Back then, Dr. Seuss was fine for the children. Here's some of the race sets. Alrighty. Take a look here. 124 scale slot cars. This is a couple of years before Hot Wheels started, so we're not going to see any of these. And this is a year before they really started featuring Major Matt Mason. So he's not going to be in here either, I don't think. Slot cars, that was a thing. You could go to them. There's Batman. Batman phone, 66. It was a real big year for Batman. There's some of the Remco things that they did also as Monkey Division. Let's get to stuff. The science kits. The Sonic Blaster, that's cool. Here we go. Here's one of the Paratrooper sets. That's a cool set. With a camouflage Tommy gun. Look at that one. A bigger machine gun with sound. More Army. Crossfire. This is when they could still have plenty of guns. Because the casualty count in Vietnam wasn't at its peak yet, so the backlash against Army toys, war toys, wasn't that. Now here we go. Here we go. I've been featuring some of my 0M toys. So here they are. There's the radio rifle, pocket knife, the movie camera. I've done a video of that in the box. Cool 007. Lost in Space. There's the Lost in Space rotojet gun. I had that for a long time. To get that in the box, it's insane. It's like $10,000 or something. Very few and far between exist in the box for that. ISO attaché case, had one of those. International Secret Agent, 007, Napoleon Solo and Thrush guns. Man from Uncle, very big. There's their attaché case. This was a Sears exclusive. So very cool. Let's see. This was the Switch and Go set. Insanely in price to get this. Great artwork on the box. That was a line where they worked on air, and they had, there's the Batmobile, and then they had armored like tanks and regular cars, and then they had the special Lost in Space. 66, so this was the middle year for Lost in Space for toys. Always loved transport. And look at how modern that looks. Look at it. Very cool. I believe they might have books or repro catalogs that you get. Always an Army one. I would have loved that one as a kid. Here we go. We're finally going to get to G.I. Joe. Let's take an overview. G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe. Fighting man from head to toe. This was the Sears exclusive with this. Very collectible. I mentioned the Frogman suit, the deep sea diver. They'd redo him again as 8 Ropes of Danger. I did a video on him. And I have the regular box, but I was able to get a loose one of the Cave. If I can ever dig some of these other things I have out, I can do more coming up. Very great set, inspired like Thunderball, an undersea sled by Power. Oh, look at that, the Green Beret set. And this is the Green Beret set where they still had the regular Marine outfit instead of the regular one, because it was a Sears exclusive, the Jungle Outpost. And they also did a lot of this over as Action Man for the folks in England over there, Palatoy, and also around the world in other companies and countries. They did G.I. Joe license. They're coming out with the Soldiers of the World. These are very collectible now. For whatever reason, they didn't sell too well, so they weren't on sale for very long. See, they have French, English, Japanese, German, Russian, and Australian. Wonderful stuff. Look at that. More G.I. Joe. There's the regular Green Beret outfit. I have a whole bunch of Green Berets. One day I'm going to set them up and show folks on that video. Nice little squad of them, almost a platoon. There's a carry case. That wasn't actually Hasbro. It was Sears exclusive. A vinyl case to put your G.I. Joes in, but it wasn't official. Some of the outfits. The basic Joes, look at that, with 259 inch for a basic G.I. Joe in the box with his outfit. 12-inch figure. There's the Foot Locker. Some of the new sets there. Air Force Scramble. Very great. Great, 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 great. Look at it all. This is one of the biggest years for G.I. Joe. There's the Jeep. Wonderful Jeep. This was great. Had big gray shells, and you put that in there and put that back and shoot across the room and make a dent in the wall. It was so strong. Mom loved it. And they had Irwin was making things. That was very cool. I had that as a kid. The motorcycle and sidecar. They had a helicopter. a military staff car that was for German, the Jet. I have a different version of that Irwin did in the 70s, not complete. Maybe I'll do that one time. Big tanks. There's the Stony. There's some of the James Bond by Gilbert. They're collectible. And then Elia Karakin. Go on and on. Whirlybird. The Lost in Space Robot by Remco. Highly collectible. The little tigers, they're like 8-inch or 6-inch Migos. I had some of those. Very, very cool. Some of the big plastic play sets. The video's running long. I gotta wrap it up here. This was Captain Action. There he is, Batman, Aquaman, Superman. Very cool stuff. More Batman. This is very expensive to get this. Thousands of dollars to get that set as a collectible toy. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. I have these two little fellas, but I never did get the other ones. Very collectible. Great show. One of my favorite shows. And on and on and on. All right, I got to wrap this up. The Viewmaster. I could go on and on. Get yourself a catalog or get on see where you can see them. They're very fun. Each year you could be interested in. If you're not born then, it's still great to see these great toys. You see things from the 70s. They make catalogs into the 80s and probably into the 90s, depending on how old you are and what time period you're looking at. Very cool to get vintage catalogs. Until next time, more awesome collection. Thanks for liking and subscribing.